And today is going to be hot. Honestly, I have a whole lot of stuff on my chest and I'm going to pour them all out today. And I hope you guys are ready to pour yours out too. So you guys know how to do on this space. Guys, please tweet to the hashtag Vawulence space. Retweet the space. Let people know we are up and running. I think I don't want us to start up this space and start going on full throttle if we don't have most of our people in the building. So I think we should do some numbers before we start discussing on the issues of today. But my brother Omar is here. We're still waiting for MCs. My boy Akin, I see you. Thank you, sir, for joining us from the start. Thank you very much. Our day one regulars, I see you guys. Thank you very much. Otumba, my brother, thank you. I see you, Lamin. Oh, guys, I am gassed. Woo! Should I give you guys one more song? Our regular intro. Let me give you guys our regular intro before we commence. Honestly, let me try and get myself. Let me try and get myself. To be fucking mixed with so much emotions. As in, I've been up, down, center, chilling, panicking. It's been crazy. Well, it's been one hell of a week that I think we can build ourselves and our emotions to understand where we are going into, which is the campaign season. We should understand that what we're about to face is, this week is just a preamble of what we're about to go into. There are some weeks that I believe that probably some of us, we probably want to give up because of the news we will hear, because of what we will see, and it will be like nothing is working for us, but we have to stay strong. I love how the week ended. Today again was a highlight. All these rallies, oh my goodness, look at Plateau State today. Look at Jos today, guys. I'm buzzing. I'm like, God, my guys in APC that in my DMs, as in, Ogaki, I'll send you a screenshot. It is crazy. It is crazy what happened in Jos today. Honestly, guys, today's space, as usual, you guys know how we do on this space, is uncensored. And if you're new here, we always advise you guys to please and please put up your helmets, fasten your seatbelts. If you're hypertensive, we advise you to leave the space on time. We're not going to be held responsible for what you're going to hear today. If you cannot take the heat, please don't get into this kitchen because we are cooking. And my guys are cooking. N6 is on his way. He has been chefing up. And Omar is well chefed up already. So guys, you're welcome to the Vawulence space. I will allow my brother and co-host. You guys are the engine behind this whole moving wheel. Thank you very much for always coming out for me when I need you guys. Thank you for this movement. Thank you very much. I see all of you requesting for the mic. Please, our ladies request for the mic on time. I want to do preferential treatment today for our ladies. We always give you guys a chance to speak first. All right. Let me not hang the mic for too long. Let me allow my brother Omar to do some little submissions before we get this space rolling. Omar, are you there, please?
Right there, bro. A very good afternoon to you, our listeners out there. Right from the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violence taketh it by force. With that familiar line, I welcome you to another edition of the Vawulence Space. It's no news to you that the sort of violence we practice on this platform is more like an intellectual form of basbos. Peter Obi continues to blaze the trail and lead the way. The 61-year-old former governor of Anambra State has latched on to the huge political awakening sweeping through the land to make himself the man of the people. He's consulted with Nigerians in the diaspora and appeared on the biggest platforms to sell his agenda to the people of Nigeria and the world. He's beginning to feel like he's the only one on the ballot, which begs the question, where is 85-year-old Amoda Ogunlere, I beg your pardon, 70-year-old Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or 75-year-old Nwoke Bombshot, Atiku Abubakar? Why are we getting throwback videos of a former Lagos State governor who's running for presidency? Why are we getting edited interviews of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar from the comfort zone of his home? Are they both allergic to live interviews? My dear listeners, I have a question for you. How do you think the APC and PDP would have reacted to a picture of Peter Obi side by side with Nnamdi Kanu? But pictures of Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the PDP, and Tukur Mamu, alleged bandit negotiator with global terrorist ties, are splattered all over the internet. To quote a surprising but recent tweet by Premium Times reporter Nicholas Ibekwe, it says, "It is always a bad omen when a politician hides from or stops talking to voters. Corruption and opacity fester under a tongue-tied politician. You don't believe me? Ask Buhari." End of quote. With the 2023 elections fast approaching, we continue to pitch our tent with a man who's widely adjudged to be the candidate of the people. By setting himself aside from the established political parties, Obi has made it easy for Nigerians to be able to run for office through him, thus demystifying the concept of what we call a political structure in Nigeria. I won't go into the regular definition of what a political structure means, because we all know what that means in the Nigerian political lexicon. It means party agents in all of the 774 local governments of Nigeria, who also double as vote buyers on election day. It means traditional and religious leaders whose views are clouded by personal interests and ethno-religious sentiments. It means road transport union workers who double as violent street muscle for politicians and their parties. Their primary duties on election day ranges from voter intimidation, snatching of ballot boxes, and disrupting the electioneering process by every means. In Peter Obi's words, this is a structure of criminality, and it needs to be stamped out of our society. How do we achieve this? The only way we can achieve this is by ensuring that the people-inspired movement manages to install its own president in Aso Rock come May 29th, 2023. That way, the political class will have a clear understanding that this is no longer business as usual. They will understand that the people are the true structure, and never again will they handle our collective interest with levity. Never again will they disrespect us as a people. Never again will our elected officials see themselves as a people exalted above those who elected them, instead of seeing themselves for what they truly are, servants of the common man. Public office holders who are absolutely accountable to the people. With that, I say welcome again to another bumper-packed edition of the Vawulence Space. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts, grab your popcorn, and your chilled drinks, because this promises to be a fun-filled, educative, and exciting ride, of course, seasoned with premium Vawulence. My name is Omar, and I say welcome again to the Vawulence Space. Thank you. I yield the mic.
All right, thank you very much, my brother. I think while we wait for N6, we have officially inducted our gentleman uncle and big bro Akin. Uncle Akin has been, he's the guys. Please, you guys should first of all give Akin. You know, as we induct people on this our spaces, that emojis, please, give Akin emoji. Akin is the one that opened the space today, not me. So you guys, please. Fuck Aki up his emojis up here. Let him understand what we do on the Vawulence space. You're welcome, sir. Give me emojis everywhere, boy. I beg, guys. Emojis. Yeah. I love that. Thank you. Aki, you're welcome to the Vawulence space. You always used to come late. Today you opened the house. You're in the doors of the church knocking. I want to sweep this church today. I want to sweep. Give me broom. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the Vawulence space.
Yeah, I wore my uniform and I went to sit down at the bus stop, 7 hours ago. Anyways, guys, glad to be here. I figured I'd do an early shift. But I have fire extinguisher in my hand today, just in case, the heat exceeds, building recommendation before the fire marshal comes in to shut it down. But, look, I'm looking forward to an exciting conversation tonight. Shout out to Wayumi from yesterday. Amazing job on the interview. Trust me, it's glad to see remarkable young Nigerian women bring the thunder. You look at the likes of Rinu and, DJ Switch and, it's like Nigerian women in this generation just have a certain kind of superpower. I can't even explain. But then again, It's exciting for many of you out there, unnamed, unknown, who do the difficult work every day. You mobilize, you grassroots, you bring the ginger, you inspire people. Please, keep doing what you do. For the guys out there that equally support these brave young women, please, we need everyone at the forefront of this struggle. Don't expect the old, tired establishment to do it for you. They have no interest of yours at heart. Remember that. So somebody says, oh, let's play politics the way my father does, my mentor. Their politics is not what will get us in Nigeria. That works for you and I. So please, keep the pressure on. Don't feel like all of this work is not going unnoticed. They are paying attention. Trust me. There are many days I go to sleep and I wake up the next morning with a text message. These old guys are listening. Many of them could not even log into Twitter accounts. They have Twitter spaces ready to go every moment of the day, whether they are traveling, they are in the car. I mean, I spoke to SAN Falana yesterday. Trust me, the guy is even up to date on a lot of things happening. I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. So I say this because you guys are on the violence space. You're doing the Lord's work. Do not relent. Do not tarry. Don't get tired. More oil on your head. And as you continue to fight, this difficult battle, understand that there is many more ahead, and we will come out glorious eventually. Guys, I'm going to fall back here. Fire extinguisher in hand. Omar, glad to have you in the audience and on space. Otumba, I see you, bro. Many of you, shout outs. Can't wait to listen. Real Ever Best, apologies. We'll mount that signboard in Ife. We just had to we had to spend another 300K printing the banner. Please, I apologize. We went out there. Tomorrow morning, we'll get that thing mounted. I can't wait to post the pictures. But again, thanks to everyone that keeps supporting. Wherever you are in a corner of Nigeria, there's a billboard. You have the cost. You know that the installation can be secured. Drop me a DM. 5 billboards a week. We're on the project. We are not tired. But Saddam, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome to the Vawulence space once again, my big bro. It's a pleasure having you here on this space. Guys, I'll start with my own venting, because yesterday, honestly, I was first of all I don't know how to be calm. Yeah, I used to, when I go on Aki spaces, I try to be calm, but I just don't. It's not my nature. That's why I was born. I get triggered a little bit by nonsense, honestly, because yesterday, after that Peter's interview, I just popped up on that woman's page, Zayn Asha. In fact, that's actually, I don't think in her life, all her life as a journalist, she ever had such engagements before. She has never. Her phone would have been blowing up yesterday. And I went under the thread, and I just normal peeping on people's comments and everything. And I saw these guys, these children of doom, these people that have been starved of attention for long, people that their organs have not had the opportunity to come out to speak to them for once. Not once. Okay, probably Atiku that did a recorded interview. But do you understand? They were under that thread saying, I am not impressed, I am not this, I am not that. I'm looking, I'm like, what give you guys audacity? You don't have any right. You don't have any. I don't see where you're coming from, because if I was an APC person right now and I see Peter Obi appearing in interviews, I'll be very worried for myself. In fact, all through that period, I'll just wait for the interview to die down so I can talk again. But these guys are shameless. They have no shame. They went on that tweet, I am not impressed, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking at them like on a very normal day, if Tinubu on his phone now, Tinubu should be granting, let's say, even radio interviews. Let us not see him undercover in his darkest room. Just he owns media organizations, so that shouldn't be a hard task. But no, not one. And I said this earlier on our space. If you guys can remember, if you have been here with us from day one, I said I can bet that this was like 2 months ago. I said I can bet that Tinubu will appear on any interview. These guys will package him into the election campaigning, package him, will just go on rallies with his guys. All these guys will come up on stage, lie, then he will not come up with like 5 minutes to go and shout, broom, 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 broom. APC top to bottom, APC top to bottom, and the close. State by state, that's how you package this guy. Debate, he won't come. Same way he dodged that NPA, and this his slaves online will come out and back him. They will come out and back him. They will come out and let you guys understand why he has no right to. In fact, why should he come for an interview? He's not Jagaban. He's not a god. He's not a deity. That they will tell you that people visit deities. Deities don't come out. They will have every reason to justify the nonsense. So it's our own duty as Nigerians, when you see them, shut them up. That's what I do on this place. I don't get shame like them. I'm ready to go down. I'll go down with them. We go swim for the mud. I'll come up and I'll shower. I'll come as a fresh boy where I be. So guys, on this space today, we have topics we'll be discussing. We have a topic already, but we have subtopics, and I think Omar, you run us down with the subtopics I'll be having this, because this week has been all up. I was first looking at the whole INEC stuff, the whole, and I was wondering, how do we do this INEC? How do we go with this INEC whole stuff? And the next minute, guys, we're making noise, and our noise is paying off, because that INEC noise we made the next day, I can remember that space we held that night. The next day, probably, I think it was on the space that they released something, a reporter or something. That, as we're having that space, a normal INEC that Nigerians know will not even talk back to Nigerians. Let the worst come to us. They don't fucking care. But because they see what we are doing online, we are putting the fire on their asses, man, and they understand it. We are doing the Lord's work, guys. We could be 5 here, we could be 10 here. As Sholo saying, 4 people tweeting in a room. Accept it. That's who we are. But the work we are doing here is something that I can vouch and say it is entering these guys. My DM, they catch fire. Every day you guys go on the rally. I'm going to give you back the mic. Probably just run us down with the topics we're going to discuss today, because I don't even know where I'm going to start from. Is it from the INEC? Is it from Tuku Mama to the ANA polls? I'm not very happy with that poll, because to me, I want to remain the underdogs. Let their polls be coming out and Peter Obi's last election. That is my own say. So that we can get more agitated, more gingered. We have to work harder. I know that whatever we did yesterday our yesterday is as good as yesterday. We just have to get better and better and better. Omar, back to you, please, my brother.
Thank you very much, Saddam. Today, we're looking at different aspects of the Nigerian electioneering process. But because we're obedient and because we have chosen to be useful going into 2023, we have quite a number of topics on this space. The major topic is APC PDP candidates on live TV. Una dey fear? That is a valid question that everybody needs to start asking at this point. Because one man is going around in the diaspora, one man is going around the country, meeting with elder statesmen, meeting with people that matter, meeting with ordinary Nigerians, discussing extensively about the issues that matter. And then we have 2 other candidates who are hiding behind so many surrogates to propagate their false and deceptive message out there. I mean, for you to understand the mess that the APC candidacy, the entirety of the APC candidacy is, when you look at the presidential candidate who continues to romanticize poverty-connected meals like agbado and cassava, and you look at his vice presidential candidate continuously romanticizing a pariah figure in the history of our nation, the late General Sani Abacha. Why would somebody tell you that he wants to emulate Abacha's hospitality, and then he doubles back on it? Wait for it. You're hoping that when he doubles back on it, it's going to be something a little more subtle, but now he goes like, no, Abacha's hospitality was not what I was referring to.
Bro,
I was actually referring to Abacha's ruthlessness.
Bro, that way mad me.
My guys, let me make you understand something. In the Bible, in the book of Daniel, they say there was a handwriting on the wall in the days of King Nebuchadnezzar. It says, Mene, Mene, Tekel, Upharsin. The handwriting is on the wall for Nigerians right now. You can see where they want to take you. You can see where they brought you to. And they are not hiding the future that they project for you. All I ask you in good faith, as a Nigerian with good conscience, is that looking at the state of this country right now, wherever you come from, whether you're Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Igbo, Ijo, Ibibio, wherever you come from, Ishekiri, there is one thing you should understand. Just like Peter Obi said yesterday, our nation is on the verge of collapse. And I ask you that, do you realistically see these people? When I say these people, I'm going to mention 4 names: Bola Tinubu, Kashem Shettima, Atiku Abubakar, Ifeanyi Okowa. I mean, look at the crop of the people that they are presenting to us to come and govern us for another 8 years. If you're not upset, I am. If you're not angry, I am. Because you see, Nigeria is an event that can happen to anybody at any time, irrespective of your social class. Bad governance is like a stray bullet. It does not discriminate. It does not care whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you belong to the middle class. Bad governance does not care whether you were educated abroad. Because if you're educated abroad and you come back to Nigeria, Nigeria is like the trenches. There's a magnetic force in the trenches that draws you to the trenches and sticks you there. And before you know it, you're stuck in the trenches, and the rest of your life is defined by these political power brokers. For a very long time, I used to be very upset that Nigerians, average Nigerian youths, were not interested in the concept of politics. But here we are right now. For me, today, I have taken it upon myself, based on the previous topic that we had, to demystify what the Nigerian political class means by structure. When they tell you Peter Obi has no structure, the question I ask you is, what is that structure? I'm going to tell you what the structure is. It's a very simple thing. There's a 4-point plan of what the structure is. Number 1, party agents who are responsible for vote buying on election day. Number 2, National Union of Road Transport Workers, who functions as their violent street muscles on election day. Number 3, complicit security agents who pretend to be non-partisan, but obviously on election day, it becomes clear where their loyalties stand. Number 5, traditional and religious leaders who are meant to guide the country towards success. Instead, a large number of them are motivated by personal and ethno-religious interests. We cannot continue like this, and I'm not going to hog the mic. I can see my brother N6 is here, and I'm so happy to have him on the space this afternoon. I'll hand the mic back to him right now, and we can take it from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Omar. Could you guys buy me like 5 minutes? I'm just about to arrange myself.
Absolutely, N6. Please take your time. In the meantime, whilst you're getting ready, before we start taking our first cue, I think it's important for me, as a co-host on this platform, to take you through what the concept of vote buying is. This is taken from an article written in the Daily Trust on Saturday, 25th of June, 2022. From paragraphs 1 to 3. It says, no doubt, vote buying has become a disturbing feature in Nigeria's nascent democratic experiment, with its attendant negative consequences. It has become a major issue in party primaries and other elections. Vote buying has heightened the monetization of the electoral process, where the highest bidder gets the trophy. There were allegations that the just concluded Ekiti state governorship election was marred by vote buying, as agents of political parties were cited negotiating with voters on the prices of their votes. In the election, money ranging from 4,000 naira to 10,000 naira was offered to voters, depending on the location and prediction of the likely outcomes. The voters' financial inducement did not start in Ekiti, and it's not going to end there. In all political party primaries conducted recently, There were allegations of vote buying and inducement of delegates, with few political parties exonerated from this obscene practice. For instance, in the recent presidential primary of the opposition People's Democratic Party, the influence of money in the exercise was reportedly overwhelming. The money bazaar was so pervasive and news-setting that some notable aspirants withdrew from the exercise. Q. Peter Obi, Dati Baba Ahmed. In the same vein, the primaries conducted by the All Progressives Congress, APC, and other political parties for various offices were also tainted by vote buying and other electoral malpractices. There's no doubt that vote buying tends to corrupt the electoral process and throw up the wrong candidates. It is a criminal offense, which affects the sanctity and credibility of the electoral process. With wrong candidates emerging as winners, the country suffers. Electorates should not expect democracy dividends from leaders that emerge through these corrupt practices. These leaders have to recover their investments first before fulfilling their campaign promises. So now look at it. That's the end of that article. Now look at it, my fellow Nigerians. These are guys who have been relaxed, who have sat down in the comfort of their homes, whilst another candidate goes around the country meeting people, talking to stakeholders, meeting people that matter in the diaspora, the business community, meeting the international community, meeting with the European Union, meeting with, a lot of people. Yesterday, he crowned it in a very exceptional way by granting an interview on the biggest platform of all, the CNN. And somebody believes that I will come here on this space today to defend that interview, when your own candidate has not even showed up. Make it make sense. You're criticizing one person's interview when your own candidate is nowhere to be found. On the the World Youth Day or whatever, we saw the recorded interview of Amoda Ogunlere. Sorry, the names, they just get mixed up. I mean, he's 85, he's 70, his name is Amoda, his name is Bola. Look, I can't keep up. But let's leave it at Amoda Ogunlere. 85-year-old Amoda Ogunlere running for Nigerian presidency. We saw his video that day. That is the person you want to make your leader for the next 8 years. Look, there is a very interesting tweet on Twitter. It is the greatest tweet on Nigerian political Twitter ever. It was an exchange between a guy called Onye Nkuzi and another guy called Chude Gideon. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the names right.
Yeah, in 2015, right? Or 2014?
In 2015.
Yeah.
Chude Gideon said that he was voting for Buhari because Buhari represents democratic ideals. Oh Lord God Almighty, the iron. He said he was voting for Buhari because Buhari represents democratic ideals. And Onye Nkuzi replied him with a very subtle, but now it feels like a threat. Now it feels like a prophecy. He said, I hope he wins so that you people can learn one or two things. Or more. We have learned more than one or two. Oh Lord God Almighty. The candidate that this same party is providing on the platform of their party right now is semi-dead. I'm not going to come here and mince words with you. He's semi-dead. That man is closer to the grave than he's closer to Asuro. I'm not God. But I've got a little bit of medical background, and I understand when I see somebody that is, edging closer to the end. And we have a vice president that his demeanor comes across as a very brutal dictator.
That guy, just 1 minute, just 1 minute. That guy video Asuro, that guy for presidential room or something, just carry pillow. You go suffocate Bola Tinubu. You go suffocate her. Nobody go know anything about it.
Absolutely valid.
I did hear that man face.
Valid. Shetima comes across as the kind of guy. I don't know if you watch movies, but I've seen a lot of movies in my life, brothers and sisters. When you watch movies and that guy just takes a pillow and then he just snuffs the other guy out on the couch, And then he calls everybody, come, he's passed out, he's an old man, there's nothing I could do. It looks very much like that because you get to ask yourself, they keep projecting Shetima as this cerebral guy, this very intelligent guy. He comes up with all of these vague Shakespeare quotes. I beseech you, I implore you. On Akin's face last night, somebody called him Shakespeare. Look, guys, I'm going to end my submission with one thing. If Peter Obi don't win, I don't enter.
No, you don't.
No, he's going to win. Don't get me wrong.
You don't break our golden rule. No. This place, bro. Don't do that.
He's going to win. We know, you, me, N6, Akin, we all know that he's going to win. We can feel the pulse of the nation. But I want you to understand one thing, that this is a make or mar affair for us. This guy is our last hope when it comes to good governance in our nation. In the short, when you're talking about short-term goals, Peter is the closest we've ever come to it. I don't know if you saw him on CNN last night. Some people were saying that, he was not at his best. He was not. Peter Obi's 2/10 is better than Bola Ahmed Tinubu's existence. Take it from me. Peter Obi's 1/10 is better than Atiku Abubakar's. In fact, his entire career in politics. There's no way you can. This is not rocket science. Alexa, go out there, watch videos. This guy has made himself Nicholas Ibeko, the most difficult people to convince. God, I mean, just like my brother, one of my brothers said in a private conversation not long ago that maybe his envelope didn't come this month. But when you look at it, a politician that does not speak to the people raises suspicions. Peter has offered himself to you, not me, not Saddam, not N6, not Akin, to every other Nigerian out there. He has offered himself. Vote for me and I will change the trajectory of this nation. If you are not convinced, but as a matter of fact, I'm going to borrow the words of David Odein. If you are an undecided voter at this point, I'm sorry, you are mad. Thank you.
Very mad, bro. Very, very mad. And we are here to cure you. That's our job on this space. We cure madness. So if you are mad and you come on this space and say you're undecided, don't worry. We get your cure in abundance. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get this space started. Please tweet to the hashtag Vawulence space. You know how we do on this space. That every day we trend something. Probably we're just going to find, we'll coin something for our trend today. We always know that there's power in our numbers. Meanwhile, you can please follow our handle.
Baba, based on what N6 said, earlier in our discourse, can we trend it is possible? Something like that. I don't know. Maybe.
Let's meet in the DM, bro. Let's
meet in the DM. We need to.
It will come up organically as we go along.
It will come up organically. You're right. N6, please.
N6, please, brother. Welcome.
Thank you very much. If children of God in this auditorium, I would like you, if you have your political Bibles, aka a mobile phone, follow me and turn to the book of Sahara Reporters, March 3, 2021. The article, chapter and verse is called Tinubu, a failure that should never become Nigeria's president. This article was written last year, March the 3rd. Tinubu, a failure that should never become Nigeria's president. It was written by a young man called Buhari Olanrewaju Ahmed. He's not an IPOB member, probably not even a Peter Obi supporter, because as at 2021, the Obedient movement hadn't even started. But let me read you what a Yoruba man wrote about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a sociopath and betrayer of trust against MKO Abiola during Nadeko era. He is a desperate politician who is unmoved by the current crisis rocking the nation. The nation can burn if it so desires, provided that Bola Tinubu's ambition to clinch power in 2023 is intact. Nemesis does not only befall those who deliberately impoverish their people, it consumes their children too. The socio-political space in Nigeria has been polluted with criminality. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a sociopath, a betrayer of trust against MKO Abiola, and he claims to be a more profound nationalist than Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Yet, he has not even achieved an atom of Awolowo's achievements. His colloquium has been a jamboree that hasn't achieved any results. Neither did Bola Tinubu continue from what Awolowo left behind. It's the empty vessel that is usually noisy. The one containing water is not. The legacy that Chief Obafemi Awolowo left behind, such as the democratization of education and several others, remains relevant several years later. The ideologies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not only to ruin any organization, but also to hijack it as his own private entity. Lagos and Osun states are examples of why Tinubu must be avoided by all means, like a plague. Awolowo was a known freedom fighter who fought for justice and equal rights throughout his lifetime. He contributed in the fight for independence, liberated his own people, and gave them Western education. On the contrary, Tinubu has not only impoverished Lagosians, he made sure thousands of them are out of school so he can use them as hoodlums during elections. For instance, how many Agberos has he given free education or scholarship? Instead, he arms them with tools to mob opposition members, to mob his critics, and then imposes himself over the will of the people. Awolowo was a promoter of peace and unity. His immense contributions towards the development of Nigeria was as a result of free education and free healthcare system for the children in the Western region, as it was then known. Tinubu is an opportunist who rode on Awolowo's establishment in the Southwest. The aforementioned achievements of Chief Obafemi Awolowo can never be compared to the treacherous 8 years that Tinubu ruled as governor of Lagos State. Those 8 years were wasted years that amounted to a fruitless journey that bore no good seed. Tinubu deceptively claimed that Major General Muhammadu Buhari would make heaven as a second home in Nigeria, but Buhari brought hell instead. Indeed, someone whose character is questionable in the US should never be trusted with a sensitive position in Nigeria, let alone becoming president. May it never happen. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's motives and ways of manipulating people against each other is another matter entirely. He previously said, "I don't believe in one Nigeria." Such a man should not be considered a true Democrat. Those who don't believe in one Nigeria like Tinubu will do all sorts of things to cause chaos in the country just to gain access to power. They will mobilize thugs to deal with people who kick against their political ambition. Tinubu is well known as the grand patron of thugs in the entire Southwest. He was indicted by the US government for drug and fraud-related offenses in 1993. To the extent that he forfeited $460,000 United States dollars to the US government. So apparently, the national leaders of APC, as they call him, has some unanswered questions to answer over drug crimes and criminal activities he reportedly committed in the US. Lagos State, under his watch as governor, was bastardized and ruined to the most miserable state. He acquired lands and property, converted them with the state treasuries as his personal business. Do you remember when he justified the killings of Pa Fashoranti's daughter, who was killed by Fulani herdsmen? It's also obvious that Tinubu has no sympathy or respect for humanity, none at all. Tinubu, who used semen as soap in the United States and urine as water in Nigeria, can never in any way stand to become Nigeria's president. Nigerians should never again support a mediocre anti-democratic force who poses as a Democrat in Agbada, people with shady records, or criminals who cannot be trusted with basic things. I'll rest the mic here. Look for this article, Tinubu, a failure that should never become Nigeria's president, by Buhari Olariwaju Ahmed, written March the 3rd, 2021. People knew this a year ago, but today people are acting brand new. Nigerians, I encourage you guys. You are on the right path with Peter Obi. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Anywhere you see any Peter Obi slander, report them fire for fire. Your tweet should be defending Peter and insulting all of Peter's haters. Enough is enough. We will not allow a drug peddler or a criminal or a sick geriatric old man to rule a nation with 70% of her 200 million population below the age of 30 years old. Enough of this nonsense. Let us relegate these people to the dustbin of history once and for all. I rest the mic. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So, guys, we're about to get the space started. If you're requesting for the mic, please, one thing we always say on this space is be patient. If you keep requesting, you drop, it gets more troublesome for you. Please, if you're up here and want to speak, just help us by raising up your hand so we can have a queue. And when you're done, we'll get you down so that other people can speak. Thank you very much. Omar.
Yeah, so let's take the first queue at this point. I don't know if our brother Akin has a submission. Akin, are you there?
No, Akin is on the background.
No, I'm here. I actually N6. I love that readout. I'm going to be sharing something on my Twitter page. It's from Akin Oshutoko, who was here last week, and he wrote an amazing article. It's called Continuity and Change. Nigeria and the UK, tries to draw some comparison. How, the monarchy, obviously, seeing a man emerge as king, and how Nigeria's newfound wonder kid, let me call him that, Peter Obi, equally disrupting the political class in this ahead of 2020 elections. Fantastic read. I'll read some excerpts from it. I just tweeted it on my page. Maybe you can post it to the Jumbotron, N6 or Saddam, but I will come back to that. I'm going to fall back in the background here. Amazing contributions. Omar, I don't know if you go to church well. If I say you're the one kind junior pastor, which levels? Go ahead, Saddam.
All of us were in the good church, there's you cannot be, if they push this movement, you know the good church. The attack when they come. our violence is inspired by God. He will do the righteous work. So it's not, don't be say he come here just throw panther. All right, guys, please. I don't know. You take the queue of speakers, and when they're done, please just drop. I think I will do the job of bringing up speakers because we're trying to regulate how many people can speak, and let's have at least 7 or 8 people up here so that the space don't get too busy and crash. Over to you, my brother.
All right, so let's take the first queue of speakers. I think it's important to start from the northern part of the country because we actually promised that this space was going to be about them. But unfortunately, just like we all know, the Nigerian political space is the gift that continues to give. And by now, we have seen a lot of things that have made us to tweak the subject for this space today. Nonetheless, we're going to take our brother from the north first. I see Ibrahim requesting the mic, and I hope that we can have him on. He's someone I always enjoy listening to. But Zari Yusuf is one of our very interesting regulars on this platform. Zari, I think you can take it from here, the first 5 minutes, and then we can take other speakers. I'll take the cue as you speak, and then I'm going to announce it right after you finish speaking. Zari, are you there? Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm there. I hope I'm audible.
Good evening, rather.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Yeah. So I'm so excited to be here, and I love the turnout of things. Let me begin by saying what I told somebody who loves to use the word structure, and I love the submission earlier on about structure. So they fall in this category of people who would tell you, no, we know Peter Obi can do it. We know he has good intention, but you see, he lacks the structure. So there is this category of people caged in that old order. So they don't see anything outside that kind of thing. I told him, I said, what God wants to do in this country, He doesn't need your faith to do it. So it's not exactly as if you are adding anything to the movement. Believe it or not, support it or not, it's happening. There are no two ways about it. Let me read something that somebody tweeted with regards to Zain Asha. He says, I have great respect for Zain Asha, a proud sister of Chinwetel Ejiofor, a true Igbo lady who worked tirelessly to promote her kinsman at the international level. This solidarity is worthy of praise. However, she promoted the wrong person. I am sure she's deeply disappointed. Now, this is coming from Adamu Garba. You may know him. He was one pathetic individual that tried to cash out on.
Are you talking of the mad dog?
Yeah. That's the one I'm making reference to.
Adamu.
I'm telling you.
Stop abusing my friend. That's my friend.
So when I saw him,
that mad dog. If I catch him, then I say I could chain him in the place.
So when I saw the tweet, I just remembered that up north, we grew up under our small world receivers with our parents. We go to the farm and they will tune into BBC Hausa, VOA Hausa, and I realized, frankly speaking, it's not all about being educated or passing through education. It's letting education pass through you. I remember when we got to the university, they said, don't just pass through the institution, let the institution pass through you. There were some of us that did that, and there were some of us that just passed through, and the institution didn't pass through us. That is a submission of a typical local tribesman, frankly speaking, and that's quite understood. And that is the mindset with which most of these old people keep, circulating themselves around. An example is, why should you be sitting with somebody like Festus Keyamo, trying to defend somebody's date of birth, somebody's education? And why wouldn't the person just come out and say, I was born in Lagos, my parents moved to Enugu, and they left me with an uncle in Why do I need a lawyer? Why do I have to make a fool out of a lawyer trying to defend myself? It doesn't make sense. I unfortunately, I wasn't in Jos for what happened today, but man, I just love what I'm seeing. And I love somebody's tweet that said, when she looked at the crowd, which was just one battalion along somewhere we call Secretariat Junction, it's not as if everybody was there. There were different such crowds and places. She said, it looks like 4 people sitting in a room and tweeting. And I love the way things are turning out. I love when people open their big mouths and they say, it's all on social media. And the next thing, it's all on social media. He doesn't have structure. And the narrative is changing. And the next minute they say we are violent, we are aggressive, we are social media bullies and all of those things. Just look at what happened on the plateau. And it never even began. Nobody said they start to. It's not as if anything has started yet. I don't know if you get my point. So, I just excitement about all of these things. And I love the way that gradually some other people are on the defensive. Gradually, sorry, I don't know if I'm okay. Sorry, something just interrupted me. So gradually, the old order is being on the defensive, not us. Why are these guys not going on live TV?
Alexa.
Actually, it's a simple question. As simple and as familiar as we are with who we call Gadria. When you look at past interviews, who wants to even stand up against her? Who wants to stand up against even simple questions from school children? Go to secondary school, go to the university, and let people just ask you simple questions. It's simply because they don't have the answers. They don't have the details. And I like it that even they look forward to seeing Peter Obi on CNN. Frankly speaking, you don't want to believe how much they look forward to seeing him, to finding out what is he going to say, what questions are they going to ask him, how is he going to respond, and all of that. And I like it that even the interview on CNN is not exactly as if it's the crescendo of Peter Obi's interview. He has met far more intellectual settings, and he has beaten that, and he has left people wow. So it's not exactly as if it's an achievement sort of that he was on CNN. And it's so pathetic that from a candidate that people believe is not going anywhere, these old people are sitting down because they want to know what the guy will say, because everything has changed. And I've said it before, I'll just end on this for the time being. God doesn't need your faith to bring what he is about to do in Nigeria to actualization. There are no two ways about it. It's happening, whether you like it or not. If all of us on this space decide to start campaigning against Peter Obi and Teti, and then begin to support at least in the military of Agbado Republic, and start eating cassava and whatsoever it is, it will happen. I don't know if you get my point. It's just happening. There are no two ways about it, and that's what I love. Every day I wake up, I see this happening, and I'm proud about it. So thank you guys for this opportunity. And as the cruise continues, I'm sure a lot of things will come in. Thank you so much. I yield the mic.
I appreciate the fact that you described it as cruise, and and you know, as the cruise continues, we're going to bring you up to speak more. But you know what? It's a lot more than cruise. We're not just catching cruise. We're actually fighting for the soul of our country. I don't know if you saw Wayne yesterday on CNN. I was at the gym. I was just, in the midst of so many white people running on the treadmill, and then I saw Wayne and I'm like, yo, bro, I've seen this face before. And then I saw the Nigerian elections, blah, 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 blah. Oh, more. I just started grinning and I was smiling. And a lot of people were wondering, wait till they make this guy this smile. I'm thinking to myself, my country is going through the biggest level of awakening you could ever think of when it comes to the political setup of an African nation. Look, guys, Africa is waiting for us. Whether you believe it or not, Africa, a large number of Africans have been waiting for this day for so long, hoping that someday Nigerians, as much as we are awakened in terms of entertainment, in terms of, all of the other aspects of life, we will be awakened politically. And now we're there. And somebody is telling you that you can't do it. Somebody is telling you that you have no structure. Look them in the face, my guys, and tell them that the people are the real structure. And we are going to change the narrative. We're going to change it in a way that will blow their minds. As I tweeted not long ago.
One of the funniest things I remembered, Omar, is when Peter Obi was asked this structure question about 2-3 months ago. And he humbly said, the Nigerian people are my structure. And when I heard that statement, there was thunder and lightning in my head. And I said, this man might just be onto something. Look at it a few months later. The Nigerian people are truly proving to be this man's structure. 3 of us get up. Peter Obi doesn't send us money for data. We'll just open spaces, enlighten the people. No lamba, all facts and figures. Go and check the Google with your own hand self. Do you understand me? We have become Peter Obi's structure. We the people. Why I say this is that this is so funny, because the number one, there's something I was reading online at futureofworking.com, and it was called 20 Advantages and Disadvantages of Democracy. And the number one advantage of democracy is that democracies give people a chance to become personally involved with their government. And for way too long, I think Nigerians have left governance for politicians, and who ended up totally bastardizing the process and the country. So for once, if there's nothing I'm enjoying, is that Nigerians even marched for a candidate to be picked at the primaries before the primaries held. We have reached a point of political awareness where we know the political process from start to finish on a national scale. I beg all of us, please ignore these drug dealers, these Dubai residents, please. And let's get down to the business of putting Peter Obi and Yusuf Dati in governance, and watch what will happen. I promise you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, N6. I mean, a candidate with no verifiable background, another candidate as the Duke of Dubai, and then you have a guy who is presenting himself to the outside world, and you're asking me that, is it difficult for you to choose who to vote for? Guy, are you mad or something? Like, it's not that deep. You can see This is between the. Honestly, don't let me hog the mic too much. Joe the Obedient. Good evening, brother. How are you doing?
Good evening, Omar. Please, am I audible?
Yes, you are, but if you move closer to your mic.
Okay, is it better now? I have to use a headphone. My phone just fell in.
Much better.
Yeah, much.
Okay. I am just going for Shetima this evening. I when I heard the first part, when I heard the hospitality of Abacha thing, I was amazed, and I went to watch the video, and I heard him hear I heard something like tenacity. I was now shocked when I saw his tweet, and he said the taciturnity of Abacha with a touch of ruthlessness.
It was even first Festus Keyamo that used that taciturnity. We're in trouble.
When I heard that word, I remember I've heard it somewhere. I tried to rack my brain, and I remember the fourth law of the 48th law of power. Taciturnity is supposed to be someone that's quiet and acts. That should be King Henry the 20-something. I can't remember his title, but it's King Henry of France. When people come to talk to him, his response usually is he'll keep quiet for a while and say, I shall see. Now, that is the role of either a dictator or a monarch, not a democratically elected president. He keeps quiet, and the next thing you just hear is the president has done this. That's all. He has done it. The king has done this. There is no challenge, nothing, and that's what Shetima is telling us Tinubu is coming to do to us. That is pro version of M. Buhari. He kept quiet all through the election. He's president. We've not had a town hall meeting. We've not had a proper press briefing. In short, if you notice, October 1st speeches are no longer as interesting. New Year speeches are no longer as interesting. It's almost like there's no October 1st in Nigeria since Buhari entered. Now you want to now put someone that adds ruthlessness to his own, and you're announcing it. And he came back. He came even to Twitter and explained. I read the tweet again that it's the media trying to confuse. The media was trying to help you and put. I was actually trying to look for Abacha's hospitality. I wanted to see how he was hospitable, and this man came and said he's going to use taciturnity with a touch of ruthlessness. That will be the end of Nigeria. If people like, sorry, I have to bring him up, our president, so when he comes and says, let's occupy Abuja, he keeps quiet. 2 days later, so is facing firing squad. 2 weeks later, death penalty. It's that kind of presidency that Shetima wants. And like you said, somebody said yesterday, the day before yesterday, that Shetima is following Tinubu everywhere he goes just to get information. Once he enters power, that man will take power by hook or by crook. For me, I see him.
Bro. Since you decided to tackle, please mute your mic. Since you decided to tackle the issue from the Shetima angle, I ask you one question. Have you ever wondered what Shetima has against nice guys? He keeps saying nice guys don't make good presidents. Like, are we supposed to have a wicked person? Are we supposed to have a lots?
I say, Omar, you just read my mind. I was going to that part. That was my concluding part. The part of him talking about nice guys. You know what it reminds me of? The big bad wolf in Cinderella, that just doesn't like good things. That's just what. If you look at Shetima and try. Is it Cinderella? Sorry, Little Red Riding Hood. Go and look for any of the books. Look at the pictures they use for the big bad wolf, and look at Shetima. It's him and Spike in Tom and Jerry. Combine those two faces together. That is what Shetima looks like to me. That's what I see anytime I see Shetima speaking. I'll yield the mic here. Thank you, Omar.
Omar, let me just play something real quick.
Consequently, the following decisions come into immediate effect. The interim national government is hereby dissolved. The national and state assemblies are also dissolved. The state executive councils are dissolved. The brigade commanders are to take over from the governors in their states until administrators are appointed. Where there are no brigade commanders, the commissioners of police in the states are to take over. All local governments stand dissolved. The directors of personnel are to take over the administration of the local governments until administrators are appointed. The National Electoral Commission is hereby dissolved. all former secretaries to federal ministries are to hand over to their director generals until ministers are appointed. The two political parties are hereby dissolved. All processions, political meetings, and associations of any type in any part of the country are hereby banned. Any consultative committee, by whatever name called, is hereby proscribed.
Such a hospitable guy.
361 of 19.
Very nice guy, honestly. Like, very wonderful, amazing man.
The Provisional Ruling Council is hereby established. It will comprise the head of state.
All social media platforms are hereby banned, including Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp.
The guy that is over. The guy that.
So that guy in H2SO4, now they call Abacha for school those days. H2SO4. Guys, you cannot find anything more wicked, more vicious, and this is who Shetima idolizes. Guys, please, I beg you now. I my mama village, they beg you. I beg, just consider.
You know, Real Ever Best quoted Abacha on your space last night, but I'm not sure anybody noticed him. Honestly, I paid attention, and at some point I actually DM'd Real Ever Best. I was like, I saw your Abacha go. He says, this government will be firm and decisive. Any attempt to test our will shall be severely dealt with. I'm like, we don't enter out. Because if we actually go down this road, it's a road to nowhere. We're going to end up being burnt in a lake of fire. And this fire is the fire that Asha was talking about when she performed at the NMPC unveiling the other day. Because when you look at it, the nation is on the precipice. Peter Obi spoke extensively last night about his plans for the country, about what he has to do, what he's going to do. And a lot of these political hallelujah boys are here telling us that the interview was not that solid. Okay, let me break down the interview for you. I'm not here to defend it because my brother N6 already warned me that there's no point in defending the interview. But for the sake of you, I don't know, chilly-brained humans that cannot decipher this, APC, PDP, important reference to you guys. The first question to him was, Nigeria is notoriously known for importing oil. How do you plan to address this and move Nigeria from consumption to production? And he answered in four very important ways. He said, it is important to revitalize our refineries and ensure that they start working again. Number two, it is important to encourage significant private sector investment in refineries and operate it. Now, these are my own words. I have listened to this interview 4 different times, and I tried to decipher the questions and decipher his own answers as well. Number 3, he says, removal of fuel subsidy and redirecting those resources into education and building of infrastructure. Number 5, he emphasized on the speed of being able to achieve these things in record time. Now, question 2 says, why should Nigerians believe it will be different with you? And what are the biggest hurdles to achieving these goals? In answer to question 1, he said, I would direct them to the promises that I made as a governor, as a guy that was aspiring to be governor of Anambra State, and my track records as a governor of Anambra State. And also, he mentioned that now the next question after that was, what is your plan concerning the violence and insecurity ravaging Nigeria right now? I said something to Saddam in our private conversation not long ago, that there are things that Peter Obi has in plans that he might not be able to mention right now based on the heat of the political campaigning season. If you look at it, everybody understands that there is one logical short-term solution to Nigeria's insecurity problems, and that is the hiring of mercenaries. Nobody wants to talk about that. But common sense will tell you that if you hire mercenaries, I'm not talking about mercenaries, with extremist ties. I'm talking about maybe Russia's Wagner group. Yeah, Russia is not very popular right now, but then they can do the job. What do we need right now? Are we trying to get ourselves dancing on the dance floor of international politics, or we're trying to actually get our nation into a safe place? I think it's more of the latter. And I think Peter panders towards that side. And he mentioned something in his response. He said he highlighted the importance of dealing with insecurity. Number 2, he mentioned reorganization of the security architecture.
Alright, yeah. Alright, guys. In case you're just joining us, I want you, and you don't know why we are here. Let me just let you guys know why we are here.
Our business is not to make them happy. Our business is to make their high blood pressure to continue to go high, not to come down. Our business is not to make them happy. Our business is to make their high blood pressure to continue to go high.
I don't know who did that, but yeah. He said,
are you back?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, can you hear me all along anyway?
No, you for the past 30 seconds you were off.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But anyways, the last question to him was, how would he rally the northern part of the country to support him? And he said that is the problem of yesterday. He said leaders have been elected in Nigeria in the past for all of the wrong reasons, like ethnicity, religion, my turn, blah, blah, blah. And then he said the suffering in the north is not different from the suffering in the south. If you are buying bread for 100 naira in the north, they are not buying bread for 60 naira in the south. That is something you should know. If there is insecurity in the north, that does not mean that there is perfect security in the south, because people are actually very worried. Just about a week ago, there was massive robbery in Lagos State, where people were, trying to find their way home and just avoid being robbed. So when you say that the interview was not convincing enough, I have a message for you, my dear brother. You are mad. Go and quote me anyway. There are witches and wizards frying fish inside your brain. Because if you have a functional brain, you would understand that a 15-minute interview on a global platform is not the perfect place for a man to sell out the detail of his ideas when it comes to nation building. The best he can do, the very best he can do, is to give out those ideas in a form of bullet points. And I think that was what Peter tried to do yesterday. Plus the fact that he's actually tired. Labour Party officials, if you're listening to this, give the man a bloody fucking rest. Excuse my French, but give him a rest. He needs to rest now. That Ibaba Ahmed needs to start pulling his weight. Look, in as much as this is an obedient movement space, I want to make you understand one thing, that our job is not just to get Peter Obi into power. It's to ensure that we can always hold him to account every time we feel that there is some kind of lackluster behavior from the government. I'm not going to. I think I've gone long for way too long. So let's take Ayodeji, and then we take Ibrahim, and then Magnific, and then Oladipo, and Ibuka, and then Anita. But Saddam said we should give preference to the ladies, so I think we should go with Anita first, and every other person next.
So, should I put that?
Yes, Anita, if you're there.
Hello, Saddam. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening, Saddam. Good evening, Sizzle. Good evening, Uma. Hello, everybody. Okay, so yesterday's interview is just annoying when I see people supporting candidates that are, that they are being hidden. Having an opinion, it's irritating and it's annoying. And I think it's about time we stop playing defensive and start being attackers, because I watched the interview, and like I was telling someone on the timeline, what I enjoyed most about the interview is he did not deviate from what we already know. He didn't come and start talking about green energy or whatever. He just said what he has been saying right from the beginning of time. But people that listened and they saw what Shetima said, they're not saying, I would not support Tinubu, but they still have the guts to come on the timeline to say, okay, I would not support Obi because of this. I'm not going to support. Like, who the hell are you, and who even wants your support? We don't even want your support, because at this point, we're moving on. We're a train. We don't need sluggers in our movement. We don't need you. So I'm just here this evening because I've been boiling all through from Instagram to Maryland, because I'm tired. Well, I'm so I'm even more tired than Peter at this point.
Sorry, please, sorry. What are you doing?
Man, those people there, they are the demons.
What are you doing there? What are you doing there?
I said I'm there to put them in their place, because that is where Tinubu. Let me tell you right now, Saddam, if you don't know, that is where the Tinubu resident evils they are. Trust me, they are not on Twitter. This ones is here on Twitter. They form intellectuals of Maryland.
Anita, I'm going to mute you for a minute. Please indulge me. You see, the reason I'm muting you is because of the background noise from where you're speaking. No disrespect, I'll mute you. You see, there's something that happens in South American World Cup qualifiers. There's a particular country called Bolivia. They have the highest altitude in the world. Now, you know what they do? Whenever they want to play the big guns like Brazil and Argentina, they take them to a particular city in their country. That city is probably, I think, 600 whatever kilometers. I'm not very good with geography, above sea level. But Bolivia is so high in altitude. So when they take Brazil and Argentina there, Messi, Neymar and all of them, they struggle with breathing. The last time Argentina played Bolivia in La Paz, they lost by 6-1. And that's what I'm telling you. Why would you go to their turf to fight them? They're going to smoke you. I understand the fact that you have so many points to fight with, but what's the point? Why engage people that cannot be redeemed? Why have a conversation with idiots who have decided to sell their soul? I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you can educate us on this space on why we should engage in those kind of battles, but I don't see the point. Please unmute your mic.
Oh, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Alright, so I would answer that question. You see, for me, I'm a regular in Ireland. I've been there for like over 10 years. And I feel like that's where the young people are. You understand? Most people coming into social media, I see it's Nile, and that is where they are. And when you go to politics section, I'm not one of those people that say, they have this very crude and crass way of talking. If you're not IPOB, you're this. But at the end of the day, once they see that you're someone that you're not coming there to engage them in their petty talk. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, so when they see you're not one of those people that Can you hear me now?
Go on, please, go.
Yeah, so when they see you're not one of those people that come to engage them in their petty name callings, because they don't have any points. Trust me, they have no point. What they want to do is to see you think. Once you're not thinking with them, they avoid you. You go there, you create your topic and engage people that needs to be engaged. That's why I say we don't have to be doing defensive. Don't answer this person, don't answer this person. I attack you. Once I
something's wrong with your network.
Yeah, there's a major.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, but
We're
that's
struggling,
the same way you keep. Anita, will come back to you. I think we'll come back to you. It's the same way you've been going on and off for such a long time.
Anita, it's up to you. You can just request for the mic again, so we.
Let's go with my brother, Ayodeji. Ayo, before you speak, I have a very interesting song for you that I coined myself today. I think I was cleaning my apartment and I thought to myself like, Obi they come, Obi they come. I'm sure you're very familiar with this song. You're probably laughing your head off wherever you are right now. Obi they come, Obi they come. Nigeria. Look, guys, Obi is coming and he's gonna be here sooner or later. Just brace yourself. Whether you're from the southwest, the south, the southeast, there's something about this guy. He may not be the finest of orators out there, but trust me, he's the man with good intent. And that's all we need. A very normal Nigerian. A man who can relate with the pain that I feel and you feel. Ayodeji, what do you think?
Thank you very much. I wish I could actually laugh the way that song sank into my soul. I mean, I think Shina Pilla, right? I mean, Shina Pilla. What's his name?
I think, you know what the funny thing is? It was actually done by King Wasiu and Dimashao, a very strong support.
Yes,
But, you know, it's interesting if we can convert it to Obi. I'm looking for somebody in my city right now who can produce a short jingle track for me. And I'll do that as a jingle.
The Fuji type, Bobby?
Yeah, it'll be. I want us to play it in all of the southwestern rallies in Ibadan, in Osun State. Obi they come, Obi they come, you know, that kind of thing. I think it'll be fun.
Of course. Oof, wow. Okay, so good evening, everybody. Saddam, Omar, N6, Otumba, everybody, Oladipo, and all the listeners this very hour. My energy is a bit low, obviously, and in the next few minutes, I will be making my submission, and my submission will be from deep sense of personal hatred, vendetta for all the past leaders in this country, none excluded, the elite of this country, and all the Hallelujah boys from both camp. You know, of course, it's supposed to be a violent space. And I mean, all speakers were supposed to actually come with all energy, you know, blazing with on all cylinders. But the truth of the matter is this. So since early hours of today, I had to rush my wife down to UCH, emergency to be precise. She's been indisposed for quite a while now. And not to bore everybody with story, we've tried several private hospitals both in Lagos and Ibadan, and so she had to like rush down here to UCH. Now, of course, she's been attended to right now. At least she's a bit stable now. But then I can't say to myself, I think probably because this is my first time of exploring the supposed #1 teaching hospital in Nigeria. I doubt if the Abuja teaching hospital is at the same level with the University College Hospital UCH Ibadan. And then I kept saying to myself, if the supposed #1 teaching hospital in Nigeria is like this, man, this country is messed up to its foundation. Yeah, I know that many of us will always say that it's until Nigeria befalls you, that is when you come to terms with the reality of Nigeria. Yeah, even though before now, of course, I've been obedient. I know, and I've experienced, or I've been, to a larger extent, the pain of other people who have always yearned and say, Nigeria is not working. But maybe because right now I've seen it close to me personally, and I've seen people. I wish I could. I wish Twitter can actually make this space a live video feed so that I can show you guys how the emergency ward looks like in UCH Ibadan. Guys, and see, the truth is this. I know that it's a violent space, and not all obedient. Not everybody listening to me here are obedient. And the reason for me requesting for the mic right now, because the doctor just asked me to get my wife something to eat because she needed to actually get another round of treatment and everything. So I'm speaking right now inside the car, and I just want to spend a few minutes to actually speak to you guys before driving out to actually get her something. Now, and I said to myself that I'm going to say some things right now to all of you listening to me, that because of the peanuts that you are going to get from the establishment, you keep lying and deceiving yourself that Nigeria is working. You keep lying and deceiving yourself just because of the few peanuts that you're going to get. Now, you listen to me, guys.
I think we lost Ayodeji's connection. Quite unfortunate, because he was speaking so passionately.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
What was the last thing you heard me say, please? Sorry.
You keep lying to yourself. You're addressing those about your African voice.
Now, living in self-denial. It's self-denial that Nigeria is working just because of the few peanuts that you are getting. Now, I'm speaking to you batified. I'm speaking to all of you articulated. I'm speaking to all of you that you have sold your soul to just political establishment. Sold your soul to few politicians just because of the personal gain that you want to get from them. And I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to all your children unborn. That, see, if OB does not enter in 2023, because now I'm taking this one personal, Nigeria is not working. The medical facility in Nigeria is complete wash, like complete wash. Now, many of you may be staying outside the country. Woman deport you, they will deport you. You will come back to this country with nothing. You know, the same dimension of embarrassment that Ekweremadu faced. You know, there's a dimension of disgrace that God will give to you. That even money will not be able to save you. You know the kind of dimension of wealth, of embarrassment that a supposed rich man like Ekweremadu is getting right now, begging people to actually even donate to his daughter. That's the kind of dimension of embarrassment that God will give to you, just because of the fact that you've chosen to position yourself in the wrong side of history, just because of the few penny that will go at the expense of other people's life. I wish I can record. If not because of the fact that obviously because of the for personal whatever of those guys in the emergency ward. Guys, you cannot imagine how UCH emergency ward looks like. You can. If somebody had told me that this is how emergency E&A looks like in UCH, and here you are saying, you are tweeting, going on Ireland on social media, comparing the interview given at Peter Obi. You only now listen. We are not saying Peter Obi is a saint. We are not saying Nigeria. In fact, Nigeria does not even need a saint. Nigeria does not need. In fact, guess what? Nigeria does not even need somebody that has a quarter of Albert Einstein's brain. Nigeria does not need it. Or need such an individual. We simply need a person that has empathy. We need somebody with a track record of commitment. We need somebody that can actually give hope, real hope. I've heard some of you compare this movement with Buhari's movement for goodness sake, Bajeni. In 2015, a large chunk of those who were following Buhari were illiterate. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
A large portion of those who were following Buhari were illiterate from the corners. And the supposed learned elites from the southwest did a collaboration just because they wanted power, and you are comparing that with this organic movement of sane Nigerians, of Nigerians with conscience, of Nigerians that will say that no, this cannot continue. Our medical facility should be the best in Africa. We should have power. Real electricity. We should be able to have all the good things of life. We don't need to keep having prayer points of things that human beings can provide. You are comparing that man, that Peter Obi. Now, if your Tinubu was that popular, why did he contest in 2007? If your Tinubu was that popular, why did he contest in 2011? If your Tinubu was that popular, why did you contest in 2015, in 2019? Why did he have to collaborate with the king of the north, the king of the Talakawas, the king of the illiterate, the king of the uneducated, people who do not understand their left from their right? Why did he have to do that? In the history of Nigeria since 1914, I say it equivocally, without any fear or favor, that Peter Obi is the number one and only politician, only in Nigeria that has been able to create this kind of traction from average Nigerians. And here you are. And I'm saying it because of, once again, as I hit the mic. See, if you are living in Nigeria right now, see, the kind of sickness that will befall you and your family, one being, anywhere. In fact, they will take you to MFM. They will take you nowhere. They won't find a solution. For you choosing wrong, when you know that this is wrong, one being silly, Tomo. Are you the mic?
According to Ayodeji, those of you who supposedly come from the southwest and choose to side with evil at this critical juncture of our nation's destiny, may all of the evil that has happened to this country since 1960, may it befall you and your household. I didn't say it. Ayodeji did.
Amen.
Thank
I'll
you.
say, honestly, Ayodeji, I'm sorry what you're passing through right now, because I was once in your shoes. I was a victim of an accident with my late dad. We were in the same vehicle. We had this accident, and fortunately for me, I came out from the car with just little pains in my leg. But my dad, that was from that process I lost my dad. Guy, we went to the hospital, FMC in a way. From 3 o'clock, we're in the hospital. From 3 o'clock till when we got to the emergency, I was like, what the hell do you guys call this place? Emergency. It was looking like, it was like hell. This is a federal medical center. And I called my mom came, I left, went back home, with the pains, they were like, no, they should give me a bed. I said, I don't need any bed, I took the pains, I went back home. Before they could have x-ray of my dad, someone that came to the hospital by 3 p.m. was till 12 midnight, x-ray. So if probably this man had internal injury, internal bleeding, any of those stuff, the man would have died. So I've tested firsthand how deadly it is. Guys, see, forget money. You might be as wealthy as Tinubu. You're just one mistake away from death in that country called Nigeria. And I come to it, I'm in a country that I see the hospital in the village. The hospital in a village here is better than the best hospital in Nigeria. I will make a video and post it up. You guys see a village hospital. I was screaming when I went for my TB test. I was screaming. I said, what is this? Village hospital. Nigerians, you guys are. See, so when you see us, we speak with, I come up here and say, Nigeria has happened to me firsthand. My dad would have been alive today, not because of Nigeria. I am a victim of Nigeria. I understand the pains of Nigeria. So I am passionate about seeing Nigerian work. And to me, I carry out for head. That's why we insult your father, your mother, your grandparents. I will curse you. If that is what it takes for you to have sense, I will curse your generation. And my curse, they follow. It go follow you. It go choke you. So I urge my brother, I pray for you, please. Anything more, just know as they go, where we can help and support, we will be there, please. I don't even know what you want to say, but my brother, I have this space. Thank you.
Sorry, I just have to add this, sorry, because if I don't actually put out my mind, I won't really fit. Now, so they call us bully, for goodness sake. What level of bully can you compare with a nation that doesn't have basic world-class hospital? I mean, for goodness sake, can you compare that? What kind of bully is that? So just because of few of us, agitating for a Nigeria that works for our own children and the ones unborn, and then you are now comparing that with the wickedness from highest places, wickedness from the pit of hell. See, here's the violence place, and I'm telling all obedient listening right now, please do not listen to them.
Let them call you bully. Let them call you all names. Please, give it to them. Give it to them. Give it to them. Because these guys hate you. They hate your life. They are after your own life. Your own life. So just because you might use your own mouth or your keypad to actually defend yourself, to defend what you believe, they call you names. Do not mind whatever they call you. Even Ashebereni. But just start saying, thank you very much. I need the mic.
Thank you, my brother Jerry. Thank you very much. Thank you. Honestly, guys, you guys see that we are violent. Almost this form, our selection is going like this, and we must go harder. Obedience. Well, in fact, we trade hashtag. Obedience go harder. We must go harder. Press their neck. Press their fucking neck. Sit on the neck. Choke them. Let them not breathe. No space for these guys. No space. You're not battling normal people. These people are crazy. They are mad. They're not well. You understand? People are, as we're speaking right now. Just please tomorrow on Monday, please visit any healthcare service, because probably you guys are living. God will be helping you, saving you. Just go to one federal medical center in your state. Go and visit one. Just pay them a visit and see the pains Nigerians like you are passing through. I did that before I traveled. I left the country. I just took out one day. I said, let me visit that same hospital that my dad. I lost my dad. I went back there and I saw people. People are passing through a lot, from children up on. People are suffering in that country. Bad health care. This is basic human rights. Basic amenities. This is what they call basic amenities. Basic common things that every government should cater for their people. You don't have roads. You don't have water. You don't have light. You don't have access to medical. If something happens to you now, which ambulance number if you call? You don't even see ambulance before that for that country. Then idiots, fools when don't get sense, will come out to be attacking the only candidate that is speaking to these issues. Hiding their candidates like Ojuju, hide them like don't they see them? Atiku have not come out to make any interview. Not one. Just probably they recorded that interview. Tinubu never come out tell Nigerians, this man wants to confront me. I am fucking employing this man. He's going to eat my money as a taxpayer. Tinubu, are you mad that you won't come and grant Nigeria's interview and tell us what you want to do for us? Who are you?
But who are you as well? When he has employed Tony Kabaka and MC Oluomo, who do you think you are? Without you, he can win the votes. That's what he believes. Let's look at it from that perspective as well. The perspective of the fact that he has quite a number of non-state actors in his pocket, and they are assuring him that come 2023, elections will go in his favor, even in the areas that nobody
they are dreaming now, brother. They are dreaming. Did you see? Let me tell you something. The problem is that these guys are sitting on. They are sitting on 2015, 2010, 2007 kind of elections. Bro, times have changed, man. Times have changed. Did you see the crowd that came out in Plateau State today? You see boys who come out for street today. Boys, girls who come out for street. Let me tell you, if we have never recorded. I thank God Ibrahim is here. We have never recorded any 50% turnout of elections since the history of our democracy. I don't think we have 50% turnout. I don't think we have ever. If we are going to, what we are looking for now is 60, 70, 80% turnout. They don't burn Kabaka in generation. They don't burn all the Solomons. If those 7 million people in Lagos that have been registered to vote, if 5 million of them come out, they're not born. How many dogs won't come out? How many of them? How many polling booths you won't go? So the problem is that we have low turnout of elections, and these guys seize the moment to go to booths that they can intimidate one or two people. Why middle class like us are chilling at home watching DSTV, watching channels, probably some are playing football in their streets. But right now, the middle class, and then if you give these people 8 more years, I am telling you, there are only 2 classes that will remain in Nigeria: rich and poor. All of you in the middle class will go to the poverty zone because you have no access to that wealth. That is their plan. The middle class are feeling the brunt of this government. The ones that are buying Milo now, you see them that are doing a video that is not trend, it's not on TikTok. They will buy 2 sachets of Milo and 1 sachet of milk and mix it for their children. They say milk they finish on time. Middle class, that is the new level that we are in right now. Then by the time these people come in, don't worry, by December, when you cannot do Christmas, you cannot buy chicken, a full chicken by December, we understand. I'm very happy and I'm grateful to Buhari for what he has done so far. Honestly. But let's allow that to speak, Jerry, before we just hold the mic too much, man. I think, Anita, I want to say something. Let Anita conclude her submission, then Omar, you continue. Thank you.
Yes, sorry, my network. I don't even know what's going on. But can you hear me now?
Go on, ma.
Okay, hey, Saddam Makwa. Haha. Now what?
No vex, my sister.
Okay, no problem. Like I was saying, and everybody would also agree with me. And if you don't agree with me, I don't really think you are ready for election. We should stop being on the defensive side. And I will always say it, we should always be on the attacking side. Because like I was just reading on the timeline, I don't know, because I saw people tagging you guys. I don't know if you have seen the tag about Salako, the LP chairman in Lagos, being the husband of somebody. I don't know if you have seen that. Hello, have you seen that, Saddam?
Let me, can you tag me on it? Let me see.
They tagged you, Omar, they tagged you too. They tagged you. I saw your usernames there. They tagged you on that report. It's on, I think, in Kem's timeline. I saw it right now. So these people, they sent people to infiltrate Labour Party. This is something that we are aware. So whenever all these big accounts come online to come and say, we used to be Obi supporter, because of Obi did not say he's going to cut down green energy, will not support him. We have so many, like I would just say, if you know you are not emotionally strong at this point, if you can even take a Twitter break before election starts properly, it will actually do you very good. Because right now, the Twitter talks, they are springing up in, I don't know, unholy numbers. So the interview yesterday, and like even Saddam, your opening when you said this week has been a roller coaster. The ANAP polls, it gave me so much joy. They're now coming again to come and see the CNN interview. That one was like, it was the icing on the cake. It was the icing on the cake. So now people now using that interview as a talking point to, make noise or say something negative. It gets me upset and it gets me crazy. That's why at first I was just spazzing out. So that's pretty much it. So let's stop being defensive. Oh, okay, we're trying to bring people. At this point, if anybody doesn't have a side, they don't have a side. Trust me, if anybody comes to form gender neutral on you, that person is a Tinubu supporter. So if they would not support Obi because you are attacking them, they would never support Obi. So that's just my submission. We're just going to enjoy our little victory and still keep on working hard towards 2023 victory, where we will all gather and celebrate our new president, Mr. Peter Obi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Otumba.
Hey, my brother. Sorry, man. I think I requested the mic when I was speaking. Man, prayers with you, brother. I hope everything works out fine for you and for your wife also. And I think I also got emotional because Nigeria has happened to me in so many ways, but I think the one I can remember really well is my uncle's wife and then my mom's older sister. Both passed away from, I think I've told the story somewhere else where it was an ambulance where she was pregnant. The stupid hospital asked in Korodu asked her to walk around. She fell, hit her head. They stitched her up and put her back on the operating table. Her husband, they sent her husband home to go get money and stuff. He came back, found his wife. Her head has been gashed and stitched back, bleeding, lying on the hospital table, pregnant, in labor. This hospital didn't have the expertise to conduct delivery, nor did they have an ambulance to transport her to a more hospital. They had to call my dad. Luckily, my dad was still working for PHCN, and they had ambulance service, and he had to, it was pretty around then, talk to the MD and a couple of people, then get an ambulance an hour away to fuel the ambulance, drive down to the hospital in Korodu, then from Korodu, then head to Ikeja. She died on the way to Ikeja. So when I curse and I hear people trying to say, turn down your rhetoric, fuck you and fuck what you stand for, also for a meaning. Because, see, in the US here, we complain about healthcare, but it's not about the healthcare service we're receiving, it's the cost. And the cost in the sense of, we know it's a business, which whatever. See, one thing I guarantee for sure, and when those idiots wants to use US and saying, debt in Nigeria is because US has debt,
You know what I would guarantee? Anyone that lives in the US here, if I dial 911, I would bet anybody's life. Within 4 minutes, I'll have a freaking fire service and a freaking ambulance waiting for me. And if it's more than 4 minutes, you know those EMS they track the response time. And these motherfuckers, this so useless set of blood-sucking politicians we have, visit these countries and use these medical services themselves. But you're fucking idiots. That some of them even have their freaking stupid account numbers attached to their Twitter profile, begging for money. But we still open your mouth and defend these fucking idiots. Find me. See, this is common sense. If Tinubu falls sick today, what fucking Lagos State government hospital is going to treat him? None. They will fly him out here. They will get him on a private jet and fly him out right there. And you idiots in your house on borrowed internet that is so fucking poor, that is 3G or 4G, God knows what, we come on Twitter and this bread up and be saying nonsense. Only that for also for a minute. See, I think I'm getting this is my violence side coming out, because basic things. This is basic. This is not. It's not rocket science. It's not something you go and pray for. This is something where people with working brains will construct hospitals, equip them, fund them, because a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. But no, all they care about is building. See, was it the idiot in the former governor of Okorocha that was building 20 or 30 hospitals? And I was thinking to myself, this guy will go and say, oh, I was building hospitals, but what's the plan to fund them? What's the staffing? What's budget and operation? Nothing. So please, at this point, I'm not even responding to anyone that says shit about Peter Obi's interview. I'll cost you that sawdust for your me. See that famous one, I think it was End Bad Politics or Women in Nigeria, said that sawdust, my reply is that sawdust fool your brain. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Otumba. Honestly, it's very hard to disagree with you when you say that sawdust fool their brain, because how do you, interests, food, money, all of these things, maybe they count to a large extent, but when you look at it, when you look at the grand scheme of things, when you look at the impact on the ordinary lives of regular people out there, you start to ask yourself that this can only be wickedness. I was telling somebody the other day, it was in a private conversation actually with my co-host on People's Parliament, and we were talking about, how wicked Nigerian politicians are. Can you imagine that the first thought that comes to the mind of an average Nigerian politician during a global crisis like COVID-19 is that international community don't send us food, we will go hide down, so we will go feel rebrand them during the election season. I will go distribute them. Like, can you imagine that? Do you understand the level of the depth of wickedness that can make a man think along those lines in the period of a global crisis? But then it's not my own duty to speak.
You need to. What makes that thing worse is they did not have a meeting as governors and say we are all going to hoard these things. It cut across PDP, it cut across APC. These criminals got together. Now, what was even more depressing was during COVID, if you remember, they will call us in Lagos to one market. They'll not be giving people beans inside one nylon. They'll carry 1 cup of rice, pour, 1 cup of this, pour, 1 cup of beans, pour, and people will go home. Beans that was not, food that was not even enough for one meal. This was what they were doing. Meanwhile, they had these things in warehouses from Jos to Lagos to God. Now, what people don't understand is that during this election period, they were going to bring this rice, 3 years old rice. 3 years old rice is what they were going to come and share for you people. Cartons of expired Indomie. And I show me that they won't share the Indomie with the big carton so that you won't see the expiring. They don't remove maybe 3 or 4 pieces, put all those are little political fanny packs. 1 scoop of rice, 1 scoop of beans, and this. Look at where they've carried Nigeria to. I need to remind you that in 2015 election days, they were sharing akara in Edo State for people's votes. If there's nothing I thank God for, Peter Obi has raised the level of discussion and political campaigning. Dino Melaye was getting ready to find one girl that sells orange in Kogi, carry her orange tray for head, and go and sell orange. They were all ready. I can imagine Moshibajo, how many primary schools he was ready to go and eat with small children with iron plates. They were all ready till Peter came and has raised the level of discussion. Now they must go to CNN. They must go to Arise. Can you believe that there was a time in Nigeria if you did a scripted TV interview, Nigerians would not even be bothered. Look at Atiku. Atiku thought it was business as usual. Sat down, invited Arise, removed Rufai, sat down, gave them questions to ask. They were asking him table tennis, what I call table tennis question. Have you had breakfast this morning? Yes, I have. What did you eat? I had egg. Was it fried or boiled? It was scrambled. What did you drink? I had coffee. That is kind of nonsense they were asking. I think one question. They asked somebody, he said I took some cars, I put chairs in them, and I was driving them across the border. That's how I made money. And then in this same violence space, we are bringing you facts and figures to show you that there are books written that exist, telling you that in one day Atiku jumped 3 levels in customs, 3 levels that would have taken 15 to 21 years to achieve. And we are here. And these are the people you want to put in power. I'm an Igbo boy. I'm from Anambra State. I promise you and I swear to God, Peter, look, Anambra has had how many governors? Obiano, Peter Obi, Nkeke, Mbadinuju. I am here telling you that if it was any other of these governors, even though that by all calculations is the Igbo's turn, if you look at it, the North has ruled it. I swear before God and man who made me, if they had brought Nkeke, if they had brought Mbadinuju, if they had brought Obiano, I would be here campaigning for Atiku Abubakar. At least Atiku is better than Bola. I'll be here. But God's so kind that we no more have those political this thing of picking between canal and dustbin. Canal go they smell like this, dustbin go they smell like this. Then you now pick dustbin because at least then they throw food where they don't chop inside dustbin. Canal, anything where they throw inside canal, you know if you use them. These were the nonsense we are going through. So God brought a breath of fresh air, a beautiful air freshener in Peter Obi. I tell you people, Peter Obi is not, don't worry, he's my Messiah. All this Peter Obi is not the Messiah. He's my own Messiah.
Our Messiah, I swear.
Now my Messiah. I don't tell you that this thing. Hashtag obedience must go harder. Hashtag obedience must go harder. Peter Obi is my own Messiah. He's my Messiah because you people want to kill me. You people want to now kill this country. Let me tell you something. Colombia has so many great things, but Colombia is known for cocaine and drug. It's a rap. There's nothing Colombia will do in this world that we will know Colombia for anything else. I have a friend who goes to Colombia for holidays, and when you see Colombia through his IG stories, my God, he lives in the US. It's somewhere that I know I would definitely love to go and hang out. But my brother, once you hear Colombia, you hear drug. That's all your brain does. Nigeria is slowly getting to a point. Once you hear Nigeria, you hear Yahoo Yahoo. We are at that point. It was one hush puppy that it took for that thing to go beyond. This now, once you're a well-dressed Nigerian, you go out somewhere, you buy somebody, don't look and say, this one will be G-boy. We know these things.
Just one.
Before you know it. Okay, drop my brother.
As in, I swear, this is just said now. I met a colleague of mine. When I got here new, the guy he's Moroccan with descent. He's American with descent from Morocco. When I told him I was Nigeria, the next thing I was saying, hush puppy. Oh, you do fraud, internet fraud. I was so embarrassed. As in, I was like, God, you need to see how the hush puppy has made Nigerians very, very popular when it comes to fraud now. Very, very popular. That is just what one man even can do to the country. They don't talk of the president himself.
Do you know that as at last year, Nigeria, I repeat, is not in the top 20 countries for internet fraud in the world. Nigeria is not in the top 20 countries for internet fraud in the world. If you think I'm lying, Google not. The United States of America, that nine pursue internet fraudsters pass, is number 1 in Yahoo. Yankee is number 1 in Yahoo. But we are here carrying a record that this thing. Do you know that Colombia is not in the top 10 drug exporting countries in the world? Do you know that the drug battle has moved to Juarez, has moved to Mexico? But Colombia is going to be bearing that thing because of one man. And I ask again, this same Nigeria, that these stigmas, we keep having these bad stigmas. You people now want to add drug, the nation that is being ruled by a drug baron. You people want to add that one on top. You people want to add Atiku's own mess inside on top. Someone that Atiku is on record, he used his wife to funnel over $40 million to the US. Go and run for election. Dele Momodu as a big boy ran for election once. The thing nearly crippled him financially. Atiku runs for this thing every year. Every 4 years. Atiku will run for election, win or lose. Go and run for local government election with your account balance. There's one Deshi Smalls boy here on Twitter. Young boy, I think he was based overseas. I followed him one time. He came home to Nigeria. I think he's running for this. He's asking
He was
for
living in Finland.
Yeah, Finland, yeah.
Finland or something. I know it's one of those weird countries. He's begging for money. But somehow Atiku has the money to run presidential election on a national scale, financially, every year. Okay, Atiku, okay, 1 year don't run. Just use that money and just do something for Nigerians. Please. Just use that money and go and fix one hospital in Adamawa. At least if person won't die, make you know say there's a World Cancer Center one thing Atiku did for poor people in Adamawa. Make I just know say if I find boss go Adamawa, it's better than flying to Turkey or India or America. But they won't do it. I told one guy, I said, bet with me. Atiku is losing next year. Atiku is going to come and run as APC president. I have a standing bet. In 2027, he will port to APC. And they will receive him because he has the money to share. How much money does this person have? And you want to carry this level of human being and go and put in charge of Nigeria. At this point, me, I've reached where I'm no more begging people, but I'm not added that Ogun will kill you. If you want to vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Ogun will kill you. A man so desperate for power. So Tinubu is so desperate for power, he got up and went to Goodluck Jonathan's house. I knew it was a day that patient Jonathan was not around because that visit, they're supposed to carry cold water where they use washcloth inside buckets, pour all those fucking politicians. Jonathan too is another egghead. It just shows that he has not developed brain in the last 8 years. These people insulted you, called your wife a sheep hippopotamus. What did they not call you? And at the end of the day, they're looking for votes, and they came and you are receiving them. That cap on his head, I'm sure the rubber band on that cap is too tight. That's why Jonathan today is not thinking properly. These are men that would have been in the forefront of destroying anything they have politically for what they did to me. What did Jonathan do wrong to these people? What did he do wrong to them? What did he do wrong? And this is where we are. We are going through the same nonsense again. Obedience, I beg you this week, put pressure on them. They are bastards and shitheads. If they call you obedience, call them bastards. They are all bastards. They are the real Omwales. That's why you can call
honestly,
them bastards.
Honestly, because when anyone else calls that's idiot, obese, just bastards
and shitheads.
That's what they are.
Shitheads. If you want to put Kasim Shettima and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you're a bastard and a shithead. You are mad. You are mad because you are bad shit crazy. Because what they are putting is bad shit 2023, so they are bad shit crazy. You must be bad shit crazy. This week, obedience. Hashtag obedience must go harder. We must go harder this week. Let me tell you something, A man you use facts to insult is paying that man more than you that they use lies to insult. But you that they use lies to insult will show it more than that one. Let me tell you why. If you tell a man your candidate is a drug dealing bastard, he's a criminal and a thief, and he's on Google, you can even find Google link and add, and the man tells you your candidate is an IPOB, the one will pay you is because you know your candidate is not an IPOB. So your own will be paying you because it's a lie. But guess what? Your own has demoralized and killed him. But him no fit open a mouth talker. So please this week, keep reminding them that they are supporting a drug dealer. Keep reminding them they're supporting a drug baron. Keep reminding them that they're supporting a man that we don't even fucking know his real fucking name. Keep reminding them that they're supporting an old fool that will die anytime and put Nigeria into chaos. Keep reminding them that they're supporting a man who is married to a female bigot. Keep reminding them that they're supporting Kashim Shettima, who pushed Boko Haram in Borno State to the point that 1.5 million people there live in IDP camps. Keep reminding them that they want 1.9 million. Keep reminding them that they want to put in one of the most corrupt and most useless vice presidents in the history of this country. A man that was never satisfied with his position and always wanted more, even if it meant destroying the country. Keep reminding them that you cannot unify Nigeria with your pennies, which is what Atiku wants to come and do. Atiku sounds like the king that will be walking on the street and see a new bride and collect the bride and fuck her once and return her back to the groom. He is that useless. Google how many children Atiku has. I think Google says he has 26 children. 26. When we know common Sheikh Tinubu alone one is a problem. Then you can't be 26 young Atikus vying for level and contract in Aso Rock. Are we fucking joking here? Are we joking here? Please, I beg you, this week, remind them they are batshit crazy. They are drug heads. They are drug addicts. If you want a drug baron to rule your country, you are a junkie. You must be a drug addict. Anybody you see supporting someone that sells drugs is a drug addict. So they must be drug addicts. And that's what we're going to cure. When we are done, we're going to open rehabilitation centers, and all of them will go back to taking at least a tablet or two a day for their sanity. Enough of this nonsense. We must go harder. Obedience, if they no complain this week, say them go close Twitter, say we too bully them, then we are pitying them. We will drag them this week. They must see it. Obedience must go harder, and that's what we will do this week. God bless us all. God bless Nigeria. Please remember, we are fighting for the soul of this country. The fight is even going to get thicker. It's going to get stronger. But if you know anything about a battle, tie your belt well, sharpen your sword. God will give us victory. We already had a poll. Arise TV could not even hide that poll. They put it there, and in that poll, Tinubu will collect 13%, Atiku will collect 13%, 26%, and we have the remaining. We are winning this thing by a landslide. I told you this thing 2 months ago when I didn't even know when we were going to win it. But me, I know that when you have a candidate that is doing the same things Buhari did in 2015, the right way, no violence, no wahala. If you call him for CNN, you go. You call him here, you go. You go meeting, you go. And Buhari beat an established party, 16 years in power with an incumbent president. You're not telling me it's Peter Obi that will now lose election. It means that you don't know anything about election. We are winning this thing by a landslide. I love what is happening in northern Nigeria. I love what is happening in the southwest. The truth will prevail. Righteousness is in the Bible. Exalts a nation. And for once, look at the first 8 names or 12 names here. Saddam, Omar, Ibrahim, Oladipo, Abdul, Ebuka, Orobs. You know, these are people from all walks, all tribes, just coming to get Nigeria going. And somebody has the guts to be telling you, Emi Lokon, our Lokon. Look at the nonsense. Has Peter Obi ever spoken Igbo to try and get that Igbo sentiment? You think he doesn't know how to play those games? And we are here, we are voting for clowns. Look, this week, call them bastards. If they call you obedience, call them bastards, because they're the real bastards. You want to call the rich people of Oduduwa who can spot a phony and a fake from a mile away, you want to call them Omoale. We'll be calling them bastards this week. We'll be calling them shitheads this week. They are drug addicts since they want a drug baron to rule this country. We'll call them drug addicts. They must all be rehabilitated. Nothing is going past us this week. We are going to turn up the heat, and God help us. Peter Obi will be president of this country. He will win this election by a landslide. And if you're listening to the sound of my voice, and this thing I'm telling you is paining you that Peter Obi will be president of this country, get ready to either get a visa and get the fuck out of this country next year when he wins, or go and take medication because you're going to get high blood pressure and die. I rest the mic. I love you guys. God bless Nigeria.
This is what I subscribe for. This is the reason why I'm on Twitter. To drink their blood. I love drinking their blood.
Imagine candidates who don't feed meat. You never meet Rufai, you can't be saying Asha. You're opening your mouth to talk. A candidate has the balls to meet all of the world's media. And somebody come and be condemning him with that.
You often say Rufai is big meat. Let them go and meet. Let them call their own journalists and sit down one-on-one Tinubu, call your journalist. Tinubu, you own TVC. Call him one-on-one.
You own
live.
media. He owns radio station, TV station, newspaper station, but he can't even do interview with his own people. To show you that there's no question in the world they can ask that man. They fit even ask him, is your watch original? The watch will be fake. There's nothing about that man that might be original. Because if you own your own media house, how can't you do your own interview? He should be doing interview every week. Imagine supporting a candidate. Imagine supporting Peter Obi today. Or Jesus Okali will tell me about Peter Obi. Tomorrow, Doyo Cooper will tell me about Peter. They will say Peter did Pandora Papers. Doyo Cooper will open space and answer. They will say Peter Obi is IPOB. Who else? Patutomi will open space and answer. Meanwhile, Peter, we know they see him more. The next thing you see video of Peter talking to some Nollywood, all those Nollywood, Ashawo Nollywood, those ones where we know they see their film. Is that not what happened this week? You will see Tinubu in better place, then they'll be hailing him. He's doing the real work. He's talking to the real people. Now those must be the real people. Now those Nollywood people we meet this week, now him be the real people. And then that retarded nonsense he talks. Look at Wole Soyinka. Person will read book. If you read book, the older you get, the more sound you'll be sounding. Well, help the Nigeria, the forward. This person will get first class in accounting. Any day people are ready, I'll put my father on this space. My father has first class civil engineering. He's 80. If he talk for here, you know that I don't have power of oratory. Now you go here, my friend, the country, Agbado, 15 million, 90 million girls. Now I want to go put for president till 2031. You people are bastards. Before you thumbprint APC on the day of the election, you drop dead. Because you guys think we are joking here. You think we are joking here. Ayo Shoguru, the other Naira land twat. Festus Keyamo will open his mouth. Then Shetima is telling us about Abacha. You are even bringing Abacha's hospitality. People want to be importing Indian Ashawos with Nigerian presidential jets in Aso Rock again. You think we don't know about Abacha's hospitality? We don't know about Abacha's hospitality. When Ashawos worldwide knew what Aso Rock looked like before Nigeria. Stupid people.
Hold your fire, man. I don't know. Some people are sending me inbox. Can you guys hear us at all? Because if you can hear us,
we can hear you.
We can hear you clear, loud and clear.
We can hear you.
Okay, correct.
Vawulence cool my body today.
Saddam, I want to talk since now, Saddam. I want to talk.
Talk, my brother. Talk and make come on, bro.
Talk.
Boss, all those Nollywood guys that Sisu just talk about. Now money they won't collect now. I'm telling you for free. I'm telling you for free. Anybody you see now campaigning for Tinubu Atiku wants money. But what I'm saying about the wise guys who collect the money and vote for Obi. Because we have done this in 2019, we have done it in 2015, we have done it in 2011. We are circulating the same set of people. Do you get? And I'll not be like my friend that says, yeah, stop begging people. We will be praying for them. But don't worry, me, I'll still beg. Because, bros, 3 months ago, I was not supporting Peter Obi. Let me be frank with you, 3 months ago. But I sat down under my own jurisdiction. Can you guys hear me? Calls are entering my phone.
I can hear you, my brother. I can hear you. Yeah. When we are not, we will tell you. Continue.
Like 3 months ago, I was not on the obedience team. Let me be frank. But like 2 months ago, I just reasoned that a win for Atiku is a win for Tinubu. In my opinion, a win for Tinubu is a win for Atiku. If any of these guys win, we are still back to square one. But look at where we are in Nigeria. Right now, there is no light as I follow you. Now on top power bank, I put my phone. What's that? And you guys, somebody just like the second to last speaker talk about. Look at the sad news about somebody losing his dad due to poor health. These are touching stories that every right-thinking Nigerian will say that let's try another person now. These guys are the same, and they've tried their best, and their best is not enough. But INEC on the other part is not helping matters. INEC is not fair. And I feel, when you look at the timetable of the election, let's strategize, please. The senatorial and presidential comes the same day. Then
Can anyone hear him?
If we do that,
okay, we lost you there. Thank you. Hello, Abdul. We lost you there. Just backtrack about 30 seconds. continue.
Okay. Yes, can you hear me now? Am I audible?
Yes, we can. Just backtrack what you were saying about 30 seconds. The part about INEC,
Okay, yes. I said INEC has not been fair. INEC is changing the rules at the middle of the game. Look at what happened for the presidential primaries. Look at the issue of stakeholder. What do you call it? Placeholder. All those things came out because of APC and PDP. All the postponement. But look at now. People now know that they have a choice. Bros, I bet you if you can bring all these guys to our side, if you can bring the Shore guys, the NNPP guys, the SCB guys to our side, we'll unseat these guys. And I was happy yesterday. I was at a space yesterday. Somebody, I think it was Duro Timi, he spoke well about Shore, and the obedient guys on the streets were very mature. They said they like his courage, but somebody just gave him an advice that if Shore can even contest for governor in his state first and win, that would be a very good start for them. But now, we're looking for somebody that is marketable all over Nigeria. We're not saying Shore is not good. Shore is good, it's perfect for what we need to transform Nigeria.
Shore can handle billions and not steal it. That's more important. Anybody can run. Let him go and handle billions and make you no miss. Maybe invite them. Then he can be on the same standard.
Yes, so what I'm saying now, we need to beg people. We don't have to start cursing them. We still need to beg more people to come to the obedient space because we need them. We need local government by local government by local government. Me, personally, I vowed that I'm going to deliver my word to Betty and Obi. That's my word in Kaduna State. And I'm working day and night. I'm pushing people. I'm making people realize that, look at guy. Forget you, student, you have been at home for 7 months. What do you think is going on? ASU strike. You have been at home, you have been looking for work. What's going on? They have kidnapped your brother. What has they done? You have paid 100 million. Do you get everything is not working? So we need to just think out of the box. And all this noise about Peter Obi's interview at CNN, blah, 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 what have you. I think we should go to CNN and Tinubu, let them go and get interviewed and see what will happen. Do you get? This guy has gone a step further. So let's not allow all these distractions to touch us. All these things are distractions. When the campaign proper starts and the real match starts, they will know what's going on. Because, bros, every average Nigerian youth that is educated will not vote for PDP and APC. That is just the bitter truth. So what we have to do now is we already have the votes of the educated ones. We now have to get the votes of the ones that are not aware, the ones that are not on Instagram or Twitter or what have you. That guy, these guys, they're not going to make Nigeria be. Nigeria is just going to be doomed with all these guys. Let them know what's going on. And that's a lot of work, guys, on our head. That's a lot of tax. We need plenty work, plenty energy, plenty connections, and plenty prayers because these are ancestral politicians. You know that. So forget about all those Nollywood guys. They went to TV. I even saw some guys in Lagos about market, the Indigo in Lagos supporting those guys. They might collect money from Tinubu and vote for their conscience, thanks to the new electoral amendment, blah blah what have you. But what I'm saying, forget about all this television that Tiamo has one PBC, I have one PBC. So let them talk their blood, let them talk their lies on channels, what have you. At the end of the day, everybody's vote will count, and let me repeat myself: every average educated Nigeria is not satisfied with PDP and APC. And that's a plus already on the obedient side. So we just have to move this energy to the rural areas, especially in the north. And let me give you another example. I got gingered by Aisha Yesufu and some other top shotters on the Labour Party. They gingered me to even think out of the box. Why am I voting for Tinubu or why am I voting for Atiku? It's the same thing. The same story, the same bullshit. Thank you for allowing me. Let me yield the mic for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor. How are you again?
Yeah. Hello.
Well spoken, sir. Well spoken. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's Ibrahim, you can go now, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much. And I think today the violence is at its peak, and I know Caesar is saying that by end of the week, if we didn't hear them telling them taking down this leader, he's not going to be satisfied. So keep the flag flying. And my own part is just to run you through some of the things I hear from here, then I'll add to what we're supposed to be doing. One thing to be sure of is that I told you a month ago or two